Today, I am giving you a review of Nothing More's new album, Spirits, which was just released a couple of days ago. So sit back, relax, and prepare yourself for this Music Monday. Alright guys, today I will be doing a review of the new Nothing More album, Spirits. This is an album that I've been waiting for like 5 years, ever since they dropped The Stories We Tell Ourselves back in 2017. And I think that's about the time when I discovered the band, was around the 2017-18 time period. At least I think that's when it was. I honestly don't remember, but yeah, I'm super stoked for this album. All of the singles that they have dropped so far have been awesome. So, obviously I am looking forward to this, and Nothing More is one of my favorite bands. I'm a little bummed out because they're coming to my hometown tomorrow, actually. They're currently on tour with In This Moment, which is another one of my favorite bands. And unfortunately, I will not be able to make it because of other plans. So it's a little sad, but I'm hoping that Nothing More comes back on a headline tour sometime soon, because I think I've only seen Nothing More headline one show before. And I've been to a few where they support, but to get a full headline set list from them would be awesome, because they have such a large oh my god, here's that word again. They have so many songs and they are so good live. If you haven't seen Nothing More live, I highly recommend it. But anyway, that's enough chatter about them. Let's get into this Spirits album review. All right, we are starting with some straight electricity on this album with song number 1, Turn It Up Like Stand in the Fire. This song is a great opener. The build-up is fun, and I can imagine this being the opening song for one of their live shows. When the drop hits, it opens the rest of the song with this energy. The guitars on the song are strong, and the bass hits nicely too. Johnny is one of the most unique and talented singers in the rock metal world today, and it really shows on this song. The subject matter is beautiful. Any anti-internet and questioning the government narratives are always favorites of mine, and Nothing More has made songs with similar narratives in the past. Johnny's emotions and vocal strength during this song drive the messages home, and it's a great start to the album, and this one gets an 8 out of 8, or 8.8. Song 2, Tired of Winning. Another hard-hitting song to continue the album. These first 2 songs are on my workout playlist. I love the subject matter on this song too. I love this idea of being able to rely on ourselves, not a god or another, entity that doesn't control all of our actions. Free will is a very important thing. So is living for yourself. Nothing More never misses on their music, and everything on this is very clean, composed, and just excellent. The guitars, the drums, bass, vocals, production, all of it is good. Another solid song, and I'll give it an 8.7. Number 3, Ships in the Night. Before I get going on Ships in the Night, I have to say that Nothing More is one of the best bands when it comes to transitioning between songs. The Stories We Tell Ourselves had such a strong flow throughout the album, and I was expecting something similar on this one. I mentioned this in my Slipknot album review, which you should go check out if you haven't yet. But I like to listen through the albums one time, to kind of get my first impression of it, and then I'll go through and listen to it a second time just to, get a more well-rounded listen. I'll dive into the lyrics and look at that, And, it's not the first time I'm hearing the song usually. So with that being said, I'm going to give a spoiler alert. This album was great with transitions too. When I say transition song, I don't want it to come as a knock to the song. To me, these transition songs are just not traditional songs. You know what I mean? Most songs go something like, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, something like that. And so when I say transition song, I mean it doesn't follow that basic format. And I think these songs are awesome because they allow creativity, and it focuses more on the instruments and the production. When I say transition song, I mean it doesn't follow this basic format. I already said that. Most music is based around the vocals, so this artistic avenue of going away from that is just cool to me. And it creates a sweet flow between songs. Anyway, that was a little bit of a tangent. So let's get back on track. Drums on the song are so good. The breakdown in the middle of the song is sweet, and there aren't a ton of, words on this song. And I think that's great. It is an artistic choice that works well. It's like a poem, and, where you don't need a lot of words to create something powerful. The music helps with that too. So it's a good transition song, and I'm going to give it a 7.8. All right. Song 4 is You Don't Know What Love Means. All right. So this is one of the singles that Nothing More dropped. To be honest, the first time I heard it, I don't know why, but I wasn't super impressed by it. I thought it was okay. However, I think I was doing something else at the time, so, I wasn't entirely focused on listening to the song. So listening to it again helped redeem it for me. The emotions the song expresses through the vocals and instruments is powerful, and it's well done. There are some strings included in the song, which I'm a sucker for, especially in rock and metal music. And the bridge with Johnny's voice and the strings is fantastic. Unfortunately, I think we have all been in that situation where the song describes it, where you love someone and they don't grasp the concept of love or loving you back. It can be a significant other, parents, family, etc. I'm lucky because I'm not in that situation now, but I have been before, and this song definitely would hit me harder if I was in a similar headspace. So it's a good song. Not my favorite on the album, but I'll give it a 7.0. Number 5, Don't Look Back. This is a really unique song on this album. I can't explain why, but I get a very orchestral music vibe from this song. I guess part of that is the valleys and the peaks you get like with like a John Williams song. Of course, this is done with a much heavier sound with the intense guitar riffs and the drums. There's also this cool electronic sound kind of throughout the song, and it's produced beautifully. For those of you who have played Assassin's Creed Unity, it sounds very similar to some of the music you get in that game. You know what I'm talking about if you've played it. But anyway, the build up, the climax, and the valley at the end part of this song is beautiful. It feels like a good movie, and it's all summed up in a 4-minute song. I enjoyed this one a lot, and I'm going to give it a 8.3. Number 6, The Other F Word. I think this song is cool. I believe Johnny is talking about a lesson that his mother taught him before she died. The song is about staying with the truth, and that even half the truths will be half false someday. So to me, it's about being true to yourself and sticking by your own values. The song's heavy, and I think the breakdown is the strong point of this song. But other than that, I honestly wanted a little bit more. The song is good, but not all I hoped for. It's going to get a 7.0. Number 7, Face It. Breaking news. Nothing More is officially a nu metal band confirmed. Jokes aside, the verses on the song do give it an early 2000s and and even 90s nu metal vibe. I dig it, and it's a new style and sound for Nothing More. Johnny kills it and adds a weapon to his arsenal of voices. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think the song showcases everything Nothing More does well. Johnny's vocals throughout are powerful, from the clean stuff to his intense screams. The production, instruments, drums, all of it are great. The breakdown is sick, and this song hits in all the right places. This is my favorite song on the album so far, and it gets a 9.0. Number 8. Best Times. When I saw the title, I immediately expected a song like Just Say When or Tunnels. And I think this song is sweet and it's authentic and a little bit sad. The song's message is really good, and it's one of the best on the album. And that's saying something. It reminds me of being a kid again. As we grow older, sometimes we push people out of our lives, or, we just tend to do that for whatever reason. But when you're a kid, you just play, you have fun, and you create memories that last forever. And this song does a great job of showcasing those emotions you don't always have consciously. I think in an ideal world, we can all keep our close friends forever and continually create memories and have good times with them. But a lot of friendships end eventually, and if we don't, even if we don't openly want them to. When all my life passes by, what's left in my heart are the best times, the best times. Those are lyrics from the song, and I think that's the goal for all of us. When we're old and preparing for the end of our time, we want to look back and think of all the good things and all the memories and all the people that have touched us. It's so bittersweet, and this song drives that home, strongly. It's a great song, and I'm going to give it a 8.5. Song number 9, Deja Vu. This song is similar to the F Word to me, or the other F Word to me. It's a little repetitive. The strong point is the breakdown, but it just leaves something to be desired for me. The song's just not my cup of tea, and I'm a little disappointed and sad to give it a 6.5. Number 10, Dream With Me. All right, this song brings the energy back up, and it's a powerful song. Nothing More is great at expressing emotion while bringing emotion out of you. The lyrics are written so poetically. The song touches back to Johnny's mom. Some of their songs about his mother have been emotional and heartbreaking and sad. This one is more angry, and it's more hopeful too, in a way. Like the other F Word, it's about staying true to you and knowing what you believe. And I think the song does a better job of getting that message through. The whole song makes me go, yes, this is what I want. It's heavy, emotional, and it showcases the thing that Nothing More does very well. This one's another 9.0. And I'm hoping there'll be a 10 in the last 3 songs. Number 11, Neverland. This is a continuation of Dream With Me, and it's another transition song. Nothing More includes Alan Watts on a lot of their songs, and I think it's super unique and inspiring, honestly. It gives listeners a chance to think a little bit deeper. When you contemplate the philosophies and the ideas being spoken, it adds this element to the album that goes a little bit beyond music. Because of this, and because of the cool factor, this gets a 7. All right, we just got 2 songs left. That's so crazy. I feel like albums are getting shorter these days. But number 12, Valhalla, Too Young to See. As I listen to the song, I realized that there's, really this theme for the album. It's about staying true to yourself and being yourself. This is a coming of age song where this person looks at the younger version of themselves and realizes they were just too young to understand what they know now. Sometimes your peace of mind is more important than trying to convince someone else that they're wrong or to believe what you believe. You also can't expect things to be fixed right away or to understand everything right away. Sometimes you need to fight for what you believe in, and sometimes you just need to heal and keep to yourself. Know yourself and your own truth. It's a great message, and I think we can all look back at our younger selves and realize we didn't know anything. Even when we thought we did know everything. Continuing with the music part of it, I love the acoustic sound at the beginning of this song. It feels like it will be a soft, emotional song and then turns into a banger, but keeping the emotion intact at the same time. Again, this song builds up beautifully and ends with the philosophical thoughts of Karl Watts. Usually his spoken word is on a separate transition song, but I think it fits well with the message in this song. This will be a fun one if they play it live, and it's one of the best on the album. I'm going to give it an 8.6. All right, song number 13. This is the last song on this album, and it is the title track for this album, Spirits. My friends, we have reached the end of the album, and this song is a perfect score. High energy, amazing instruments, great production, killer vocals, and a strong message. Going along with the theme of this album, this is about, finding yourself, staying true to yourself, and going through life even when it's hard. The emotions in this song are louder than life, and it's married up beautifully between everything I mentioned before. The best song on the album, and one I will listen to for forever. This is how you end an album. Alrighty, so after tallying up all the scores that I've given to each song, this album receives an 8.2, which is tied for the second most out of the 3 I've done this year. Number 1 album so far this year has been Slipknot, which I believe was an 8.9. And then Hotel California by Hollywood Undead got an 8.2 as well. So 2 8.2s this year. That's awesome. With that being said, I think this album kind of goes a little bit beyond music, when it comes to the whole spirits thing. And if you dive into, some of the stuff that they've been putting out with this album, like there's a spirits book, I believe, it's almost like a personality test. I've actually taken the test for the it's called the spirits test, where you figure out what kind of spirit you are, and it's very similar to a personality test. Oh, the Myers-Briggs, duh. Okay, yeah. There's the Myers-Briggs personality types. There's the Enneagram numbers. Of course, everyone's into astrology, so there's that one, which I won't get into that. But I think it's so cool that Nothing More developed this thing, and gives fans this whole other way to view themselves. And I wish I could. I should probably do some more research on the personality test and how it was developed and how the band came up with all of it, if they worked with personality experts and things like that. But I think it's so cool. Like, this whole album is about yourself and your spirit and kind of figuring out who you are, what you believe in, staying true to yourself. And I think that really shined through for the most part on this album. There were a few songs where I was like, okay, well, not my favorite. It's kind of repetitive, but overall, it's a really strong album. And I think, Nothing More got a little bit heavier on this album. I wouldn't consider Nothing More the super heavy band as far as the music goes. And with that being said, I think you can be heavy without the music being heavy. There's lyrics that you write that are heavy. People have different definitions of what heavy music is to them. For me, it includes music like, heavy, Slipknot's a heavy band. They usually make heavy songs, but there are songs that are heavy lyrically where maybe you just have pianos on the song, and it can still be a heavy song, just not your traditional heavy metal taste or whatever. So, yeah, I think this one is an album that makes you think a little bit, and it makes you dig a little bit deeper inside yourself. And that's the whole point of why they developed this Spirits personality test thing. I wish I could remember what type I was. I'm going to pull it up real quick, actually. Spirits, nothing more. Okay, so there are 8 spirit types. There's elemental, constant, exile, core, force, ballast, fuse, and true. I believe I was a fuse. Oh man, should I take this test? I'm going to take this test live in front of you guys. Hold on. You recommend this test on your phone, blah, blah, blah. I typically avoid arguments. Oh, jeez. Okay. I'm pretty sure I was fuse. I don't want to get copyright strike. I'm going to go back and get the definition of fuse. Okay. Yeah, I'm having a little bit of trouble. I might just have to buy their book to figure this out. So anyway, listen to the album. Check it out. It's definitely worth a listen. And I think you're going to find a lot of songs that are really strongly written and completed. I don't think they skipped any corners on this album. It's been a long time coming for this album, and I was super excited for when it came out, and I was not disappointed, not at all. There are a few songs that are going to take some getting used to, and I think eventually they might come around for me, but for now I stick by my word, and you should definitely check them out. And if they're coming to a concert near you, you 110% need to go see them. If you've never listened to their music before, if you're not necessarily a rock metal fan, then still go, because they're amazing live. They play their music and they do some other crazy stuff. So check them out. Thanks for listening to the album review of Spirits from me. If you like this album review, feel free to, leave me a comment or like the video if you're on YouTube. And check out my other ones. Like I mentioned before, the 2 other ones that I've done this year are Hotel California by Hollywood Undead and The End So Far by Slipknot. So awesome. Thank you guys. And I will see you on the next video. Well, I will talk to you on the next video. Thanks again for listening on this Music Monday of my Spirits album review. I know the last few podcasts that I've put out have been Music Mondays and album reviews, and I promise that won't be the only content on this channel. So stay tuned for some of the other ideas that I have coming, and hopefully we'll get a little variation of that soon. Feel free to, give this video a like if you're on YouTube, and leave me some comments for any feedback or suggestions that you have for anything you want to listen to, any album reviews you want to listen to. And thanks again, and I'll catch you on the next one. This has been Storytime with Chris.